Welcome to KSR Datavizon. So today we are going to see about Angular framework. What is Angular framework? Right. So first of all, we have to know what is framework. Framework are common in every programming language. It could be any language, right? You consider Java, C Sharp, C, C++, Go language, which is developed by Google, Python. So all are having their own kind of framework, like what is the folder structure, what is the configuration, all those things, right? How do you connect with a database, whether you will have some configuration file to interact with third-party API. So all those things are termed as framework. Okay. So here we are dividing that framework into two categories. Okay. One is configuration over conventional framework. The second one is convention over configuration framework. So we'll see here with an example what are the user interface technology are mapped to this two framework, right? Then why we choose Angular with other one, like comparing the features, what are the advantages, disadvantages over this framework one by one. So first, configuration over conventional framework. Okay, so it will be easy to learn. Okay, so it's not like so complex structure and everything. Freedom to have your own structure. You can create your own folder, file, and everything. You need additional libraries to fill in the missing features. Like if you want to add a grid, right? You have to go for some other third-party vendor like AG Grid or something and then plug in it. Okay. So this framework will not have all the features. That is the drawback. But only advantage is easy to learn. You can create your own structure. Okay. What are the example? React.js and Vue.js. Okay. So these are all popular in Europe and UK, not in India and US. Okay, so if you say like Angular is 80% used across the world, React and Vue.js will be around 15 to 20% only, but that also mostly into Europe region. Okay, so React.js does not come with state management. What do you mean by state management? I have a data, right? Like for example, you book a PVR show or anything, right? It will keep your credential or user ID or password within our cookie cache. Okay, that is called the state management. So that does not come with React.js, whereas in the case of Angular, it works. Okay, so you need to install either Flux or Redux to fill in this particular feature. Okay, and it can be a challenging to scale. What do you mean by scale? If it is a large application, I have around 200, 300 modules, right? Then in React and Vue.js, it is not possible to keep on adding modules. So these are all drawbacks of going for configuration over conventional framework. Okay, the configuration will be very limited. I mean, the framework does not provide too many features. Okay, only thing is easy to learn, but you need to plug in whatever different libraries, license, and everything you have to think about it. Next one, convention over configuration framework. So in this framework, everything will be there. Okay, you don't need to go for any third party. Okay, structure straight out of the box. You can directly all the structure, folder, files, everything will be there. Everything is automatically configured. Okay, and provide solutions for most of our common problems, whatever our IT industry is facing. Okay, that is what we want, right? But it has a large learning curve. I mean, it's not so complex, but you need to learn multiple what do you call modules to be familiar with the Angular framework. Example is Angular. Okay, so this framework helps you to decide how the classes, files, structure of the project, everything it will give you up front. Okay, so no issue at all. Okay, the suite of features that come up with this type of framework. So when in the earlier slide we discussed state management is not there. Okay, this is an example in Angular. We have routing. Like I want to navigate from one page or one module to another module. Routing is possible. You want to navigate from one page to another page. It is possible. State management. I want to save the session information, details, and everything. That is possible. Forms, I want to work with forms with multiple controls and everything. That is possible. So everything is possible in the case of Angular framework while comparing React and Vue.js. So here we are going to see about CLI. What is CLI? So Angular has a separate feature, command line interface, to create a project. Okay, for example, you can see we will be able to build a project. Okay, what do you mean by build a project? I mean, we'll have the structure, folder, files, all those things will be there. We'll see in the upcoming session. Okay, we'll be able to start a development server. You can run test and then deploy the application in your server. So all these features can be handled with the help of Angular command level interface. We'll see in the next slide about like how we can create a project using CLI. So don't get confused what is CLI, what this guy is talking about, right? So we'll see in the upcoming session. But in the next slide, we'll see what is CLI. So here, this is what is CLI is. Okay. So you can see here, I am in a folder called a training Angular project. Okay. So npm is node package manager. So with the help of npm, I am going to install Angular CLI with this command npm install -g @angular/CLI. So this is going to install Angular CLI in my particular project. Okay, in this particular folder, Angular project. Okay, so right hand side you can see after installing this Angular, what is the version of Angular I want to see. Okay, so you have to type ng version. Okay, if you type it, you can see the latest version Angular 13 has been installed in my local machine. Okay, and below you can see what are the libraries have been installed. DevKit Architect, DevKit Core, DevKit Schematics Angular. So these are the core framework which is required to start a Angular project. So here the CLI, what the CLI does, that's what we are saying in this particular slide. CLI is a tool that manages other tools. Okay, what are the other tools? It's the first file you can see in app files. We have TypeScript file, CSS file. TypeScript file is for what? Angular script. Okay, CSS file is for styling the application. Asset is what you want to have images or whatever. Configuration file is what you want to have your own configuration metadata, right? You want to look up where is your components, modules, and everything. So for that we'll use configuration. So here the next one is Angular CLI, right? Which has lot of packages. The tools are Webpack, Babel, SAS, TypeScript, with all other tools. So CLI is going to manage all these particular tools. Okay. So CLI handles the configuration of the tools, thus saving our time. So we are not going to manually type and then configure it. Everything will be taken care by CLI. How we are going to integrate TypeScript with the CSS, CSS with HTML, right? All those things will be handled by the CLI. Okay. So the purpose of running our code through these tools is to produce a bundle. So what do you mean bundle? It's a single package. It is going to club all the files together. That is called as bundle, and it is going to optimize your code for production. So what do you mean optimize? Reduce the size of the file by integrating it. Okay, these files can be uploaded to your server to run the application and see the output. Okay, so right now we saw the basic of Angular framework. Right now it is the questionnaire session. Okay, which of the following statement is true for Angular? Is it a closed source front-end framework, or open source front-end web framework, or open source backend web framework, or closed source backend web framework? Hope you understand what we are talking about Angular, right? Angular is what? Front-end framework, right? So what is the answer for this? I'll give you a few seconds, recollect it. Okay. Okay, now we'll see the answer. Yes, you are correct. Okay. So Angular is a open source front-end framework. Okay, open source front-end framework, not a back-end framework, and it is open source, not a closed source. Thanks. This session is so informative for you, and we'll see more in the upcoming session. Thanks everyone for your time.